Mandala and Sadguniya doctrines. This ancient theory prevalent since Rig Veda times and known with different names like Digvijay doctrine in King Rama's regime has based on the premise the primary enemy lines in the neighborhood and enemy of the enemy is friend. Mandala meaning circle of the state was used by Kautilya to project theatrical layout of the then existing political realities in the contextual backdrop of international relations. Kautilya, in his Arthashastra, the first ever treatise on diplomatic practice, involved a comprehensive theory for the purpose of the state security and survival. For him, power and success are interrelated. Therefore, power acquisition and expansion is the main aim of any state, fetching intellectual, physical, and psychological success. As regards international relations, Kautilya gave importance to geography and economic foundation of a state as the necessary determination. Centralized government set of possessing control over far-flung areas was not possible in ancient India due to the obvious lack of advanced means of transport and communication. The prevalent scenario was that of stronger states annexing the weaker ones in the neighborhood in order to expand their kingdom, and the weaker states agreed to pay tribute to the stronger ones so as to enjoy independence. It is from this that Kautilya's strategy of six-fold foreign policy, Sadguniya Siddhanta, involves, which has to be applied as the situation demands to subdue the national enemies in the form of neighborhoods. Sandhi treaty, Vigraha break a treaty and start a war. Asana sit natural in wait of opportunity time. Yan mobilization of troops. Samasraya joining head with those having similar aims. Dwadibhava dual strategy of friendship with one enemy and enmity with the other. The Mandala doctrine is explaining the ruling universe and the construction of a state. Desires of expansion of consolidation was central. Foreign policy, it projects a matrix comprising a maximum of 12 types of states and the probably ways of dealing with each of them. The position of states as per the Mandala doctrine is thus. Vijigishu, the king who aspires to be the conqueror. Ari share border with Vijigishu, an enemy. Mitra, friend or an ally of Vijigishu, share border with Ari. Ari Mitra, friend of Ari, share border with Mitra. Mitra, friend or an ally of friend. Ari Mitra, friend of enemy's friend. Parsinigraha, enemy in the near of the Vijigishu. Akranda, friend in the near behind Parsinigraha. Parsinigraha, Asra, friend of Parsinigraha behind Akranda. Akranda, Asra, friend of Akranda behind Parsinigraha. Madhyama, indifferent kingdom. Udasina, natural kingdom. The fiscal premise of the Mandala doctrine lies in locating the position of a kingdom as an enemy or ally vis the intending conqueror and the kingdom's real placement in the mandala. Here it is important to note that in mandala doctrine it is not essential for states to have a geographical circular expanse. They may be a placed linear as well. Kautilya treats the Vijigishu, the conqueror or the ambitious king, as the reference point of the mandala theory and advanced for basic circles. Circle 1 Vijigishu, his friend's friend. Circle 2 Ari, enemy of Vijigishu, his friend's friend. Circle 3 Madhyama, the indifferent king, his friend's friend. Circle 4 Udasina, the natural king, his friend's friend. The mandala system offers ordering principle of states, whereby it is argued that a direct neighbor is an enemy Ari, while an indirect neighbor is a friend Mitra, as goes a common saying, enemy of my enemy is one's friend. It has therefore been put forth by Kautilya that the first and third circle would be hostile to the Vijigishu state, while second and fourth would be friendly. This is not an iron law, though an expectation would always be less. The victor's policies would be to turn as many of the kings as possible into allies or take natural positions. Kautilya has stressed upon diplomatic maneuvers and espionage activity. His diplomacy emphasized Sama, conciliations, Dhamma, appraisments, Danda, use of force, and Veda, dividing beside illusion and neglect for the purpose of dispute settlement. Whether in Danda is to be employed as the last resort only, he has presented a system of envoy to carry out diplomatic relations and has discussed classification of envoy, their qualification, status, immunity, duty, salary, etc. in much detail. An envoy must also be sweet spoken, persuasive, industrious, well versed in science, and purposed of the ability to read others' minds from their mannerisms. Kautilya described the duties of an envoy as sending information to his king, ensuring maintenance of the terms of a treaty, upholding his king's honors, acquiring allies, instigating decisions among the friends of his enemy, conveying secret agents and troops into enemy territory, kinsmen of the enemy to his own king's side, acquiring ghastly games and other valuable material for his own king, ascertaining secret information and showing valor in liberating hostages held by the enemy. His further stipulates that no envoy should ever be harmed, and even if they deliver an unpleasant message, they should not be detailed. Considering espionage system of much importance, he has provided for both permanent and mobile spies and has approved of secret agents who kill enemy leader and sowed seed of discord among them, women as weapons of war and means of vengeance, use of religious and superstition to bolster the king's troops and demoralize enemy soldiering, spread of information amongst various ways which appear cynical in the present context. He wants on the emphasis that foreign relations are to be determined on the basis of rational calculation of self-interest rather than being driven by ethical consideration. In pursuance of his foreign policy, Kautilya believed in following principle: king would enhance his kingdom's resources and powers to embark upon a consequent campaign, elimination of enemies, rearing allies, adoption of prudent course of action, peace to be preferred to war. King must behave as just in both victory and defeat, practicing human treatment of conquerors, soldiering, and subjects.